Alright, so let's start again. That was sort of our warm-up run. We're going to go with Brightboard again because we can. And 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm just going to have to learn not to spam there and just let it load properly. Oh, that's okay.
You'll have to hit harder if you want to best your father.
Hard enough?
Hey, thanks for Videli. Thank you very much for the good luck, mate. I hope you're having a good day, buddy. So here, we're just sort of baiting Gilheim into attacking us as fast as possible, and then we're going to smack him around a bunch till the cutscene starts. This is obviously a flashback, like I mentioned before. This is a flashback, and then we're going to go into the real world sort of now. Orcs are attacking us on our tower. We're going to give this guy 5 good smacks. Let's pray for a crappy run so I can... Don't you want to pray for a good run so I'm quicker? I mean, I'm just saying. Wouldn't that be more sensible? Alright. We're going to wait here. This orc should jump down here. And I'm actually going to try to go for an insta-kill. So there's bits of terrains where we can throw the orcs where they immediately clip out of bounds like that. That one's a bit off, but that's okay. Nah, crappy run, you'll quit. Good run, I'll finish. Oh, you want me to get so bad RNG, I quit. Well, I can't, because I'm practicing for ASM now. Alrighty. So that's our first section through. Now for the best part in the game, a stealth kiss. I'm learning the stealth mechanics by sneaking up on my wife and stealth kissing her. It is actually faster to walk in stealth here than to walk normally. The game really tries to enforce the stealth mechanic on you. And here, we're now going to put that stealth kiss to work and kiss these orcs. I meant stab them. Or kiss them, yeah. Either's good. But here, we're actually going to be running up to the orcs mainly, and then we're going to be hitting stealth at the very last second and sort of getting into the crouch animation while they're still spinning around. A little bit of coyote time on the stealth attacks here. They're pretty lenient. Go gadget RNG, yes. Alright, so here we're just spamming control because the moment we regain control of the character, the first input we need to press is control. So, and then we switch to space and escape, hitting space first, then escape straight after, and we can power through the menus. Alright, now we're going to head to the bow tutorial, and we're going to see the single biggest glitch in Shadow of Mordor that we use. So, what I want you to do here is, the very first shot I'm going to do, I'm not going to use a glitch. And watch how long it takes me to actually pull the bow back from starting. So, we're pulling it back, there it is. Now we're going to swing our sword. And I'm going to do a little bit of magic, and we're going to get an instant bow shot. I'll explain better how that works in a few minutes when I have the ability to show you with both my hands, but for now, just understand that it's a bunch of direction movement, and obviously we have to swing our sword at the same time. That's okay. Now we're grabbing some information off this guy. We're going to interrogate him for knowledge on the closest captain. Because the closest captain is the slaver, and he needs to die because they're bad. Not much else to say there. So captains in this game function like mini-bosses. I wouldn't call them full bosses. The full bosses are the war chiefs and the specially named bosses. But captains are sort of the mini-bosses in this game.
Nothing makes sense.
Alright.
Nothing has changed.
So here what we do is we are just basically running on the most efficient line towards the objective. However, I'm going to switch into my Elven side view here to actually see this spider here. Now, I'm not just killing the spiders because I'm Australian and it's tradition. That's actually something we need to do. So there's hunting challenges in this game. And one of them is kill 3 spiders. And the reward is money. And money can be used to buy basically upgrades in this game. We're going to use it to increase our quiver size from 4 to 6, which is really, really important for a bunch of tricks, since a bow is a huge damage upgrade. So here's the actual tutorial for Elven Sight, where we use it to view through objects and see where this slaver is.
Cut off the head of the snake, and the body will wither.
Okay, so here's our first instance of RNG in the game. It depends on where these patrols are on the map that mini-map that I'm looking in the bottom left, is to our pathing, and also where this captain is standing. Okay, so this captain's in a bad position, but now he's in a good position. as he's walking away. Before that hits, I'm going to remember this time, I need to put some runes on. Now, I'll explain what just happened in 1 second there. But essentially, I just equipped a bunch of DLC equipment. Now, the reason we actually allow DLC equipment in the runs now, I'm not sure if it's official yet or whether it's still a pending change, but it's going to happen sooner or later. Is essentially, it is so incredibly hard to actually buy this game anymore without DLC. In fact, the only platform you can buy this game on is Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. It's the only way you can get this game without DLC, and that's only if you get the first edition of this game as well. So as such, we just went, well, we may as well allow DLC runes because everyone can have them, and they do make the game a bit smoother. Especially the early game, it smooths out a bunch of problems that this game has. And now you're going to see my first talent point. I went into my talent tree and picked up a talent point. I picked up Elder Swiftness. Every time I jump over a rock, or vault over a wall, or do any kind of little hop movement, I'm now able to sprint for a small amount of time. So you'll see me constantly doing that. Oops, spider. There's our second of 3 spiders there. That's fantastic. And you'll see me basically constantly doing that. It's part of the reason why Shadow of Mordor has more of a linear path to most of the missions, because we're actually going to be looking for those little jumps and speed increases. So here, we're just looking for our 3rd spider. There's normally 2 spiders in this cave. There's one there. That's our 3rd spider. That's our hunting challenge complete. And we'll spend that in a little bit of time. For now, we're going to face this Caragor. This Caragor is like a tutorial Caragor, so it actually always spawns with 1 HP. So we're able to easily take it down there. Alright. And here again, you're going to see the use of the machine gun bow.
They must have tracked the Caragors here.
And it's going to give me a pop-up here, which means there's no point machine gun bowing that last one down. And here I'm actually just waiting. That Caragor actually gets life back when it does that. Oh, that was a bad mistake by me. That's okay. So what happened there is I didn't pull my bow back completely. And as such, I get punished with a quick time event. Wow, really? The Caragor. Okay. There we go. A little bit of a waste of time, but not a problem at all. Okay. So here we finish this mission. And we immediately go and fast travel back to that first watch post here. Now we've got a little bit of a running section here. But it gives me time to sort of give you a little bit of an explanation of how the pathing is kind of in use here. So we can see these rocks here. These actually completely dictate what our pathing is. We basically need to hop over each of these rocks to get our speed boost to keep our sprint going. And we're basically just jumping between mission to mission at the moment. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of fast travel locations unlocked, so we're also going to grab those fast travel locations on our way. Okay, so I could probably give you a bit of an insight into the machine gun bow while I'm running here. This is probably a good section to actually explain it. The way the machine gun bow works, that's the trick you saw me doing before, where I was instantly able to draw my bow. The way it works is we need to basically point the camera at a location that we want to aim at, and then we need to hold a direction away, so directly 180 away, and we also need to hold a direction to the left or to the right as well. And holding both of those with the sword swing will trigger the game to thinking that we got interrupted during a bow shot, which we didn't, and give us that free powerful bow shot. So that's how it actually works. The game, basically, if you're halfway through drawing your bow and you get attacked, the game will give you a sort of instant draw on your bow to compensate for the fact that you were attacked. So essentially that gives us the ability to trigger that instant bow draw without actually being attacked, which is fantastic. Alright, here's the next mission. This is Ratbag. We're going to see him very quickly while we interrogate him. And Ratbag is actually going to be our new BFF for the first half of the game. He's going to work with us. And here, funny enough, I'm not touching. I'll explain that in a second. But here, I do the one thing that no other runner does. I make it my point of, because it's funny, I make it my point of view to pick every flower I can. So, the game is full of escorts like this. And when the escorts happen, the game will automatically lock you onto them and make you walk with them. So we have plenty of time. So like I was saying with the machine gun bow, if we're facing sort of the direction here, we want to sort of be aiming either this way or this way with our sword swing. That will then give us the initial bow, and that is way faster than just manually drawing your bow each time. Plus, we're able to save a lot of focus because we're not actually using our focus between the sword swing. There's also a backup spider here if you don't have enough arrows. But our plan here is we get our 6 arrows here because we're actually going to use... we should only use 4, but it's nice to have the backup here just in case we make a mistake. So here I have no control over my character until this menu pops up, so that's why I wasn't holding anything there. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake, but that's okay. Where's that last one? There it is. So here, we're also going to do another mechanic here where we drain an Uruk, and draining an Uruk gives us 4 bow shots back. And we're also going to push Ratbag a little bit. So we're sort of just pushing him towards where we can go before where he needs to go before he actually initiates a walk. And again, the game, you cannot get very far from NPCs at all in this game when you're escorting them. It's a huge pain. However, thankfully, at least the game gives us this kind of ability. Okay, so here we're sort of just a little bit more waiting. This game has a lot of little sections of waiting in it, because we can't get too far from that bag. So here we're going to do this.
That explains the smell.
You doing that? Ratbag, what are you doing?
Keep out of sight. I'll see.
Oh my golly gosh, Ratbag just...
Splendid plan. You kill, I wait. That's military genius, that is.
Okay. Ratbag completely messed up his pathing then, but that's okay. And I think because of that, yeah, this archer didn't die. That's really, really annoying, but it's part of the game. Alright. So that nest that I shot before normally kills this archer. Unfortunately it didn't, so now we have to kill him manually. Little cutscene here to explain that Goroth isn't here. And this is actually still a super early tutorial mission. This is teaching us about Captain's weaknesses. And that's actually something that's way more important in Mordor than it is in Shadow of War. So we really need to be exploiting these weaknesses of Captains and especially of War Chiefs whenever we can. So we're just going to run by these orcs, jump over that campfire for a boost, and climb this mountain, climb this here. We're actually going to, thankfully we can take these during missions. These are our fast travel points and we can actually unlock them during missions. So you'll see me doing that a lot, especially in the very first zone. We'll be sort of unlocking these in missions whenever possible. Okay, so what we're doing here is Goroth is afraid of his own beast. So you're going to shoot this, wait for him to stumble back. We can then do a stealth attack on him, which knocks him down. We can grab him, and because he's feared, we can instantly kill him. This is not normally possible, but because he's afraid, we can do that. And we're moving Ratbag up the chain of command here. And we finish out that mission. A little bit of a rough start to the mission in the missions in the early game, but hey, it's all in the
Now I am working with an orc.
Alright, so we fast travel back and we're going to head to the next
Use
mission.
the weapons of our enemy against him. The orcs hate each other almost as much as they hate us.
Okay, and again we're going to be just traveling along, boosting as fast as we can across to the next mission. Now the next mission has some interesting little things about it. We didn't get that boost, that's okay. We're actually going to unlock 2 abilities here that are really, really powerful. We unlock the ability for Execute, which I'll show you in a moment, and we unlock the ability to shoot grog barrels and make them explode, which I will show you not in this mission, but in the next mission. Okay, so we're meant to kill the archers here. What we actually need to kill is these orcs, and if we do it in a pretty specific order here, and notice I'm not using the fast swing glitch, and that's actually... If I use my sword swing, they actually see me early. And then I'll have a bunch of orcs approach me.
And I will show everyone here how low that is.
But if I actually do this here, grab these arrows, position myself just right. And now that everyone's aware of us, we're going to do this. And now we're going to fight. And this is very much equivalent to the Arkham. You've probably seen the Arkham combat system. Build X amount of swings here, and then we can do an execute for a huge amount of damage. Here, however, we've got him down to a certain amount of HP. So we're going to interrogate him for information, and we're going to get information on his war chief here. So war chiefs are sort of like the big bads of the area. They are the big, strong, tanky boys. Very scary, but thankfully the first one is an absolute pushover thanks to us pretty much having it worked out as a set fight. Alright. So here we're going to hop over these walls, get some boosts, and run to the next war chief. And this is sort of the last mission that we are guaranteed to do in this order. After this we're going to be having a lot of RNG, and it'll change sort of, our routing has to change on the fly based on that RNG. I'll explain more when we get there, but essentially for now know that the RNG is about to kick off hard in this game.
See how the war chief soldiers do.
Okay.
In the face of
so what happens is when you're trying to lure a war chief out, you always have to do a mission first. And some of those missions are quick, some of them are slow. This one thankfully is always the same, but the rest are RNG. Okay, that was RNG, that's really bad that that guy was there. So this guy's in a terrible position, but that's okay. And now I'm going to try to stand in a very particular position. You don't have a lot of time to get this position right. If I've got it right, Morg will drop down one step, and then before talking to me, he'll drop down a second step. It doesn't look right. That's okay. Okay, so this is actually a fairly fixed fight. We know exactly what to do here. We give him a punch. One. Give him the back attack. Bolt over him, execute him, turn to this thing, blow it up. Didn't get out of range of him. That's okay. This is a closing line. We can actually avoid these by just killing them with a bow, but unfortunately I couldn't, and now it comes into a long cutscene. But that's okay. Again, not the end of the world. Okay, so that is the first war chief down. We've got to kill 3 out of 4 of the other war chiefs now to basically progress out of this zone. That's our big killer now. Unfortunately, war chiefs just aren't naturally on the map. We've actually got to discover their locations, and how we do that is finding worms or information drops. Here's an example of a dead worm, and thankfully he has information on him, and we can use that information to go, hey, show me where this war chief is. And that is, yeah, that's mighty close to our next mission actually. It's a trap. No, I'm going to leave that one and wait. So that's the decision. So thankfully the names of the actual missions give me information on what the actual mission is about. It's a trap means I need to run to X location. Oh, this is a Worldspawn.
Waste not, want not.
Very unlucky, that's just a waste of time. We're not going to fight that guy at all. We're instead going to move through the first of the Golem missions. So these are again... Oh, that's good RNG though. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to throw the bees to scare these guys. So normally we wouldn't grab this guy, but he's a worm. So good RNG on my side again. And we're going to get the information off this guy. The actual Golem missions themselves, they really just want to snipe out this guy and this guy. Alright. And that'll keep Golem going. And it's, by the way, it's legal that you have to sing along with this song. Shows him and he rewards us. Oh, which song? He's got 2 songs here. Oh, we get the boring song. Not as much words. I will not verify your run on speedrun.com unless you're singing here. If you've got a microphone, that is. The other admins will, but I won't. Because I love the songs. We need Bright Master to show us the way. Bright Master will guide us, will help us. Golem, Golem. And he calls Cerebrimbor, this ghost here. He calls him Bright Master. So, in case you're wondering, good luck tonight, bud. Good you're feeling better. Yeah, I'm feeling so much better. Thank you so much for the good luck, man. Hope the little bub's doing alright today. Alright, so we're waiting here for a few seconds. Because Gollum, basically, we can get out of range of him, but he gives us this information. Alright, 7:38. 7:38, so that means 8:38. I'm actually going to need to remind myself to ask the host to actually get the timing right. Because I need the timing here, otherwise I will just look like a silly goose. That's okay. So we're going to climb this tower. We're going to take this tower. Now, the reason I'm actually talking about timing is because these ghouls are on a set timer. They will actually continually spawn for an entire minute. Technically a minute and 6 seconds since we sat here for an extra small amount of time. But we're basically... There's no point going down and fighting them. All that does is spread them out more and respawn them. So we're getting them all to spread together here at the moment. And then when the timer gets close, so exactly at 55 seconds, we're going to go and we're going to do the booty hang strat. So what is the booty hang strat, you might ask? We hang our delicious booty out here, and that makes all these guys come and want to eat. Alright, that's our time done. And now we can just wait a few seconds, kill those guys, and oh, one more spawn, and there we go. Nice and quick. Alright. Too fast for my sword swing. No, still not.
Will betray.
There we go. Now I'm not in combat. Game really likes it. Okay, so that's the first of 2 Golem missions. That gives us the ability for the Elven Rage, Wraith Flash ability. We're really not going to be using that much at all in this run. There is one spot where I know we use it, and outside of that, it's really just a... If we get really horrible RNG, we might have to use it. However, the next Golem mission, this one, gives us one of the best abilities for the run. And the reason we usually do these missions, and I want to say usually because we don't always, but the reason we usually do these missions straight away is so we get access to this ability. The end of this mission is going to give us Shadow Strike, which is one of the most powerful abilities in terms of movement in this game. It is so powerful, you're going to see us abusing it as soon as we unlock it. But here, the normal 360 no scope, here is the 45 with scope. The game actually just lines that up for you. You just hold your right mouse button and don't move your mouse at all, and the game will automatically line that shot up for you every single time, which is lovely. We're just going to take a little bit of a shortcut here, so we're not doing as much walking. Now, you may see me rolling like this a lot. Rolling is slower than sprinting, obviously. However, it is technically faster than the usual walking we do. So this is sprinting, and this is the usual walking we do. However, it is such a minor speed increase that not even the world record does this, because it's actually really rough on your hands after a while, because if you're not getting frame perfect rolls, or very much, if Celebrimbor takes a single step while he's in between each roll animation, you actually lose time here. And rolling will only save, after 10 full seconds of rolling, it'll save about 0.2 to 0.4 of a second. So it's really not worth it, but I've kind of built up the habit of doing it in certain locations. But it's definitely not needed if you want to run this game, and not even needed if you want to get world record in this game, since the world record doesn't really do it. But here, you are now seeing the power of Shadow Strike. The only downside to Shadow Strike is it costs 2 arrows per shot to actually do. So it can get to the point where we run out of arrows. But thankfully throughout this cave... you did not spawn early. Throughout this cave, there are perfectly placed shot piles for us, so we're able to instantly do these shots. And one last shot to take us directly into the cutscene. 1, 2, 3, and roll. There we go. And while we're here, we may as well do the first of the Outcast missions. And these missions are... They're not the worst ones, but my golly gosh, are they very close to it. Escorting Torvin... not Torvin. Escorting... I forgot his name. I am so sorry. Escorting Orange Beard Guy. We're just going to go with Orange Beard Guy.
The Uruks have yet to discover the secrets of the
Hiragon, there we go. Escorting Hiragon is terrible. It is extremely slow. So there is nothing I can do to speed this up. If I get, say, this far away from Hiragon, he just stops and goes, hey, come back here. I've got to show you exactly where to go.
Perhaps we can take a more
it's great for RP. It's not great for speedrunning.
by using their weakness.
So I'm waiting for a voice line now.
Have you ever heard of Hithus?
When he does his little laugh,
Toxic,
after he
but
finishes
for
that,
one
I can
thing.
move.
Poisoning orcs.
There it is.
Follow me.
The little... We can now move.
When I deserted the Black Gate, I fell sick. It was Erin who nursed me to health.
And now, I know what you're saying. What are you doing? Why did you move so early?
She is my
I moved so
mistake.
early so I could get
Only
that
so
herb
many
without
camps
stopping
my wife
Hiragon
could
in
have
his
been
track
taken
at
to.
all.
Do you believe she will be at this one?
My heart says yes.
I hope for your sake she is
Okay.
here gone.
So here, this is the sort of me special. Ooh, that guy's actually... Normally I'd snipe the other guy, but he's actually got information, so I don't want to snipe him. I want that information.
Watch for Uruks. Be careful, Ranger.
So what I actually want to do here is I want to grab this guy, and I want to basically interrogate him for information. And I want to grab the information on the last, possibly the last war chief here. But getting in combat here actually does serve a purpose. So Hiragon normally stays way up the top, and it's very, very slow. However, now he's down in this area because I'm a bit thrown off here. That's okay, I missed a herb back. I know where I've missed it, that's okay. But Hiragon's now down here and we can immediately start the next part of the mission. So getting into combat there is quite smart. However, I did those plants out of order because I got thrown off. Now, one thing to know about Hiragon is that Hiragon in stealth mode is horribly slow. He will go into stealth mode soon,
Left him our footprints.
but if we can get him back into combat mode, he will speed right back
You're
up.
proving yourself to be
So
a
you'll
strong
see him
leader.
go into stealth mode in a few seconds here. Now he's in stealth mode. That's as fast as he can go. But if we pull him into combat mode, again by, I don't know, fighting some orcs, so Hiragon's now here, and we're going to drain this last orc. Even though this has stopped Hiragon in his tracks, this is still faster than actually walking through this entire place without Hiragon. You can see here he's now telling me to come back, hey, you're not close enough. But he's no longer in stealth mode. He is now running like normal, and we're able to, thankfully, move him along much faster. This saves around a minute and a half, because that is how slow Hiragon is. Okay. Just running through these tents, going to Elf. Snipe that guy at the top there. That's actually kind of
In Mordor,
important.
even the flowers are of death.
And now there's going to be a Karagor up here.
Keep your eyes open.
Karagor's dead. Oh. And we're going to grab this herb, which will trigger Hiragon to letting me go free roam while he deals with an orc. Is he going to deal with the orc this time? No. We're actually going to drain this orc with the arrows. It's useful to have the spare. It does waste about half a second, but we're waiting for Hiragon to start up anyway. Alright, so like before, I have changed my entire pathing around here just so I can pick an extra flower. If we do cross over where Hiragon's going to walk too close to him, he will actually stop moving 100%. So I need to be careful of that.
Soon it will be
However, if I do
impossible
everything
to
right, Hiragon will not stop moving, and I have the ability to pick these flowers. Technically, these flowers do give me a tiny amount of XP, but the amount it gives you is so not worth it that it's really not worth the amount of effort I went to routing picking flowers in this run. I just find it funny personally. For reference, in this game, flowers are actually useful for returning your health.
I volunteer.
We can't get too far away from Hiragon here, but we can speed off a little bit in front of him. And if we've done this right, we should just be able to reach this herb. And as soon as we pick it, it starts the next part of Hiragon's mission. You can push that a little bit further than I did there, but I was being a bit safe there. Alrighty. So, one final herb, and then we finally get to actually use all these herbs that we've been picking to create poison for orcs.
This should be enough.
I mean, a sword is pretty good poison in the head, you know. A sword right through the head, that's good enough for me normally for orcs, but hey, we need another way. This is a cool mechanic. We'll never use it again outside of this mission as a speedrunner.
Stationed by the front gates. For the sake of my men.
But this is a mandatory mission.
Gather my men and
So.
wait. We'll stand
Here I'm
ready
gonna
to seize
bring
the
my
blasting
bow out.
powder once the camp is clear.
And I'm not going to have my wraith time on, which slows down time. And I'm waiting exactly. I have to be very careful with this because you can mission fail from this strategy.
Don't be seen. These Uruks have killed many slaves for far less.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm able to Shadow Strike to this guy without him knowing where I am. I'm also able to Shadow Strike to this guy. Oh, something went wrong there. I clicked. That was... I don't even know what happened there, to be honest. Something clipped wrong, weirdly, and it didn't work the way it should do. Anyway, we'll continue on with the route. Should have teleported directly to that orc, but that was some weird clipping.
No wonder this stuff burns so well.
Okay. So, here the goal is to just poison 5 orc barrels without being seen. Now, it's a pretty dependable path we go for. We go around this way. And these orcs, as soon as you put the poison in the barrel, the orcs are triggered to run for it and grab a drink for some reason. Don't know why, but... So our pathing is sort of all dependent around that not happening.
They can keep it down.
Up you go. No, up. Up. Oh my golly gosh. It's just not obeying me today. That's okay. Okay. We'll grab this final barrel. And then you think we're done here, but we just have time if we roll before it fades to black to grab another herb. Okay, that's the 3 of the mandatory missions done. Now we're basically on the hunt for war chiefs. That's how this goes now. So, we're actually just going to walk to this one, to be honest. It's actually close enough that we can just walk to it. So, where these missions spawn is RNG. We don't have much control over it. What the missions are about are also RNG. Vantage Point is fantastic of a mission. That is just get to X location without being seen. Some of these missions are extremely long and slow. Some of them are really fast. It's a Trap is fantastically fast. It does have the downside of not being able to get a proper stealth attack on the enemies most of the time. But it's such a fantastically fast mission that we just don't care. So as you can see here, the whole point is just getting to this trap location. I'm actually going to drain this guy for arrows. Anyone to jump to? No, no one in range, unfortunately. That's okay. We'll just get the zoomies on through. It doesn't matter if we're seen in this mission either. We've just got to get to the trap location. So since we're entering a trap anyway, who cares if we're seen? And to be honest, those guys will lose sight of us before anyway. So we hop in here, and we immediately try to get out of the trap and away, because we need to see what this guy's weaknesses is. This is the first War Chief, and War Chiefs can overwhelm us absolutely so quickly. They can be insane. So he's vulnerable to stealth finishes. So we really want to try to get a stealth attack on him. But to do that, we need everyone to, hey, face over there, guys. And there we go, we got the stealth attack on him. So that's the second of the 4 War Chiefs down. Thankfully, that was nice and quick. That was really, really good. That's good RNG. Getting a War Chief that's weak to that, and getting a mission that's nice and quick. We don't have much control over the RNG here. We can kind of just got to deal with it as it comes. Excellent. These ghouls are spawned. That gives me a fast way down. And again, we're always looking for these dashes, because it's so much quicker than walking in this game. They do obviously consume arrows. Thankfully, we get our arrows back when we start this mission, so we won't be too worried about not having any arrows or only having 1 teleport for this mission. Vantage Point, like I said before, another fantastic mission. This one, we can't be seen, so we've got to be a little bit more stealthy than what we were last time. However, it's not really that much more. Come on, buddy. So here, we're going to punch that guy again. It's absolutely fine. No one's going to see us. He's just going to be punched and not have any idea where we went, or even that we punched him, really. Okay, this is a pain, but we can climb this, no problems. Oh. Ah, I heard it just at the last second, but that's a pain. Alright, we can go back and do it again, I think. Thankfully, the War Chief didn't actually spawn, so we don't lose. Well, if the War Chief spawned, we wouldn't have lost the mission regardless, but now we've just got to go back and do it again. That was me being a little bit overzealous because I was liking my missions. Not a problem.
Cautious to confront you directly. We must find a vantage from which to strike.
Okay. So this one, unfortunately, we don't have a guy spawned up there. So obviously, where the enemies spawn, that's all RNG. Everything in this game is RNG. We're gonna kill this guy. Too risky that he might see us. The rest should be okay according to the mini-map. This time we should be able to climb with no problems. Alright. So, what we're hoping again is vulnerable to stealth. Or vulnerable to beasts is also a really good one. Fear of ghouls. We can't do much with that, unfortunately. In this game, we cannot spawn ghouls ourselves, so... We're just going to have to fight this guy straight up. So this is more of a... RNG. Like, it was a good mission RNG, but it was less than average War Chief RNG. And as you saw there, my health just got obliterated. He has a ally who is an archer, and archers just absolutely destroy us. Thankfully, his little ally has a fear of burning, so they just run away. And our goal here isn't to make this look pretty at all. We're just here to kill him. Okay, he's invulnerable to range. That's fine. I would say that would still be above average in terms of time, which I can't actually properly see my time because it's covered up. That's okay. Alright, final mission is over here. We can just walk there, that's fine. Just looking for any shadow strike targets here. Maybe this guy here. There we go. Still faster than walking. Walking in this game is incredibly slow, as you can see here. Doesn't matter if they set off the beacon now, because we're going to reset it as soon as we get into this mission. Dead shot. That's actually a pretty good one as well. This is a really good set of War Chiefs so far. I want to say so far, because they can always have like an absolutely insane set of... Wow, that's a really weird spawn. Excuse me. Just going to kill this guy because he kind of knows where we are. Oh, we don't have that ability yet. Like, why didn't we kill him instantly? Because we don't have the ability. There we go. That'll solve that problem from now on. We're actually going to... Maybe we'll Shadow Strike this guy. We'll grab some extra bullets, arrows off him, bullets, and then we'll just stealth kill him. Because as soon as they drain, they go into a fear mode, which means we can then stealth kill them, no problems at all. Final archer. Nope, one more. Can we see this guy at all? If we change our angle slightly, we can. Okay, there we go. No one knows where we are, but we have spawned in the War Chief. So again, we're hoping for weak to stealth. That would be the absolute bee's knees here. If we don't get weak to stealth, we'll just fight him out. Unfortunately, he's a shield bearer. He is weak to stealth, so he can be damaged by stealth. So we're not going to one-shot him like we did the other guy. But we are still going to do some pretty gnarly damage to him. See, there's half of his HP gone. Nice quick line, that's not too bad. Wow. Okay, we can vault over him. Thankfully, that's really useful. I think he was invulnerable to arrows, but I just wanted to try it out. There we go, he's down. So, wow, that was an incredibly fast set. That was actually Had I played that better, that could have been close to world record pace. But unfortunately, losing that one mission and not playing the early game puts me off world record pace, but that was fantastic in terms of pacing. So now we're going to move on to the final Hiragon. Technically not the final Outcast mission / Hiragon mission, but it kind of is. Spoilers for the story coming up, but hey, we're zooming through the story anyway. Now, I hope you're paying attention to those bodyguards there, because one of those is probably going to be my greatest nemesis in this game. So this game has an incredibly cool mechanic called the Nemesis system. It is absolutely fantastic and really, really cool, really, really involved, and it's about how many times you talk to orcs and speak to orcs and interact with them and fight them and they run away, you run away, etc, etc. We're speedrunning. We're never going to really use the system, especially not in this run. In 100% you kind of abuse it a little bit. But because we don't abuse it here, we have no idea who our greatest nemesis is, and neither does the game, so it's just going to pick a random bodyguard that we kind of saw interacted. Chances are it's probably going to be that random bodyguard that we set on fire. Alright, so there, again, I routed in picking up that flower while having no detriment at all to Hiragon's pathing. Come on, Hiragon.
The ghouls have turned on the Uruks. Nature's done.
Here, I'm going to free this Caragor early, so you can help me start cleaning up orcs at the next outpost.
The cart's up ahead. When there's grog, there's
When I'm through, no orcs will draw a breath.
Okay,
You
so
have my
here,
word.
I'm staring at the ground on purpose. I'm actually staring at the ground on purpose here. This is not me just being silly. So I want to flick my camera as I do it, and we'll see the cart, and that will interrupt the animation to show us the cart by killing that guy still. That animation is super slow. Is that Caragor gone? Okay. This Caragor normally dies, but RNG decided it didn't want to die today, so we're just going to grab it just to get it out of the way, so it's not a pain at all. That saves us on arrows and all that.
excellent tally.
Alrighty.
Now we must ensure
So again,
can push the
we're
cart
going
to
to
the
be
monument
trying to get a
free
flower
from
as
harm.
best as possible here, because that's what I'm doing. So they're now stealing a cart of grog, and that cart is going to be used with a bunch of blasting powder that we talked about before to create like a giant bomb. And this whole purpose is to try to lure a enemy called the Hammer out into the open. And we're doing that by taking the cart of grog and we're going to escort it to a monument that they're building to the orcs. So here again we can see just how slow stealth Hiragon is. Unfortunately we have no way of getting him out of that stealth mode yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim at this, and the moment the orcs spawn in, I'm going to free this Caragor. If I shoot it too early, the Caragor will come directly after me, but if I shoot it now, the orcs, they'll go after the orcs instead.
Pick the meat from our bones.
Okay, so here, I'm just pressing Q. This is actually a talent that we have, and it's just quick throw daggers. You see there, nice and quick to kill ghouls. So kill them in one shot, and there's lots of ghoul fighting in this mode. Okay.
Group camp lies before us. Kill the lot, so my men can pass. We need assistance. All close.
Oh no. No. I just noticed something really bad. Hiragon gone. Oh no, he's still over there. That's okay. I thought he was in combat there for a moment and I was getting very, very upset. Where's my last orc? Here he is. Oh, that's not good. So hopefully that Caragor just ignores me completely. I don't know if it will or not, but I don't have any bow strategy to kill it. Now, if Hiragon gets into combat with that Caragor, we're in big trouble. I don't know if he will. Normally that Caragor is dead, but again, RNG just was not pathing for me today. No. That's really bad. For some reason, when Hiragon gets into combat here, he goes into stealth mode after combat. Should have probably taken the extra time.
Fighting side by side.
Hey, he didn't go into stealth mode. I don't know why, but I'm going to take that as a win. Normally, every time he goes into combat in this section... Ah, there he goes. He's gone. I talked too soon. Alright, so here we're going to take this fast travel point. Again, Hiragon doesn't actually care about vertical distance. He's still moving, thankfully. He only cares about horizontal distance. He doesn't check for vertical distance. So he still thinks we're in range. So he's going to be moving through most of this section here. I'm going to jump down. You see Hiragon will continue walking here. Jesus, these beasts are pretty loud though. Like, I'm actually worried these beasts are going to, you know, alert the orcs to our presence. Hopefully we can figure some way out to hopefully get them to simmer down a bit. What do you think, Hiragon? Need to work on that timing a little bit better. Alright, so here, killing that ghoul early actually does something really weird to Hiragon's AI. We get Turbo Hiragon. And you're going to see it right here. For some reason, he goes into a sprint that we can't even keep up with. He just absolutely fangs it for some reason if you kill that ghoul early. Don't know why, but hey, we love Turbo Hiragon. Turbo Hiragon is great. Okay, so here I actually want to build up my 8 times combat multiplier if I can. May get it here, may not. And we're actually going to use the Ray Flash. That is the only time if we get good RNG, that is the only time you'll see that in the run. I'm going to get a little bit more Turbo Hiragon, but nothing we can't keep up to now. Something is latched onto me.
Let's clear the ridge so they may pass.
That's weird. I'm just going to go into stealth. Oh, ghoul spawn that Hiragon didn't kill. Normally Hiragon would go back for that ghoul, so that's very lucky that he doesn't.
Be ready, Talion. The next outpost will be the largest.
Okay, so this, unfortunately we can't pick that flower. There's no way I've figured out to pick that flower without Hiragon stopping for a few moments.
Something is amiss.
Here you're going to see my special strategy. This is something that I am the only runner who does this. It's faster for me. It is slightly too fast there. It is debatable for other runners, but timing it every time I've timed this, it is faster for me. So normally you're meant to kill this Caragor. I actually find out because the ghouls are so spread out, getting this Caragor means that the ghouls will all group up on Hiragon, and the Caragor actually now helps us kill the ghouls even faster. As you can see there, we go straight through and not have to worry about them at all.
One enemy replaces another.
Alrighty. Now we're finally to the big monument. There's the big monument to Sauron, and this is what we're going to be blowing up to try to get the Hammer's attention.
A tribute to darkness built by the blood of my people.
So I'm going to do this. That'll bring that guy over there.
Take a long look. That monument will
got his head. Cool. And we're going to keep spamming this. And that should keep this guy in range.
Our success depends on your ability to clear the...
Keep that orc in range. Able to teleport to him straight away. That also lines up this shot perfectly.
Now that their war chiefs have fallen by my hand.
There it is there. Okay. We're actually going to drain this orc. Get our shots back. He's going to run away. Going to give this guy a good stabbing, because why not? Blow up that as we can. Hop down here, but as these guys run past this fire, we're going to blow that up as well. Drain this one, because we can. He's nice and easy to drain. And the humans kill the other guy. That was nice and fluid. Alright, so here I'm going to show you a strategy that I am horrible at. And I'm horrible at it because the better your PC, the less time you have to do this strategy. And I don't think it's going to go any better at ASM, because I know the ASM computer is pretty tanky. Here, I'm going to try to line up a shot on an archer. I think it's about here. I only have like a few frames to get this shot before the load menu actually takes me away. And also, orcs can interrupt me like that. I think it's there. I have to really focus because the timing is weird here. We're meant to be defending the cart, but we don't actually need to defend the cart at all. I think I'm actually a little off here. No, that's to the right. So you can see there, it's so quick. I just don't have the ability to hit it. Where's that final archer? Wow, he spawned in a weird location. Okay, so we snipe off those 3 archers, because those 3 archers will actually prioritise attacking me over anyone else. However, there's going to be another set of archers that we're meant to be focusing down. Oh, that's very rude. That normally doesn't happen at all. That's very bad RNG. They're actually throwing axes at the cart, not me, but they managed to miss the cart and hit me. Now, if I stare at the ground here when those archers first spawn, they'll pick to prioritise the... This game is making me tell lies. Normally they'll pick to prioritise the cart over me. And the cart thankfully has enough HP that it can just tank all of this and we can just push it into the fire. However, the archers and all the orcs are making liars of me by constantly hitting me here. But not to worry. Okay, cool. And now we're on to technically the final outcast mission, but we don't get to see any of the outcasts here. Now we are going to do the hammer fight. And this fight has some pretty cool mechanics behind it.
And when they do, these men will die.
And yeah, we can make it go really fast, or you can make it go really, really slow. And it depends on how good you are, how lucky you get with crits, how good you are with your sword. Speaking of crits, we should buy crits. And we're going to fight the hammer here. Okay, so this is the hammer. He's actually our first big boss. Now, we can't actually attack him more than 3 times in a row. Which I would love to show off, but these orcs are actually just interrupting me here, which is okay. Without him knocking us back. But we can change that up by obviously attacking an orc or blocking an orc. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll away from him. And we're going to shoot him here. It's about to do a phase change, but if I vault over this orc as he phase changes, I don't get hit by his phase change, which means I can keep my combo multiplier. I can then use an arrow to interrupt his reset, and there you go there. I actually shot him into phase 2 before the orcs from phase 2 had even done spawning, so that was fantastic timing. And you can see there he's trying to interrupt me, but we're just going to keep him, we're just going to keep hammering him down. We're into the final phase already. This is going super fast. It would have been nice to keep a combat multiplier, but hey, that's okay. We're going to roll away. We're going to hit him once, and then we're immediately going to execute him. And we should... Come on, hammer. He should fall over any second now. There he is. Okay, cool. So that's the hammer fight down. That was almost perfect. Not 100%, but nearly perfect. Grab my sippy cup while this animation plays out. The orcs just watch me do that to their master. But hey, it's okay. Okay. And now we finally travel to that unlock we did in the Hiragon mission. And we're going to Shadow Strike to this guy. Most of the time they're there, so that's fantastic. Camera's a little bit wonky since we teleported and then immediately went away from where it thought we would. And now we're actually going to transition into the second zone of the game. This is a much better flying game zone. And yeah, it has some really cool missions, and then it has a certain set of missions that you're going to see with Torvin. Torvin is a dwarf. He is a fantastic character, but his missions, you'll see them when you get to them. They are terrible for speedrunning. Anyway, we're going to come here and we're going to get the most important fast travel point in this zone, which is right outside where we actually spawn. That guy has intel, and you're thinking, oh, I should grab intel for the war chiefs in this zone. Don't actually need it. I'll explain later when I actually show you why, but thankfully we don't need intel for these war chiefs, because these war chiefs here, if we get good RNG, are all going to just get absolutely destroyed. You guys are in weird positions today. Okay. So here, I can't actually remember the story reason why, but we're tracking down a ghoul mother. I think it's because the ghouls stole something of Cerberumbor's that it will help him with his memory, and I think the elderly lady that you'll never see because she's only in cutscenes told us to go find. I'm pretty sure that's the reason, actually. Okay. And it's not a Shadow of Mordor or a Shadow of War game without a mandatory stealth section that if you get seen, you instantly fail. This one isn't as bad as the one in Shadow of War, but it can be very annoying. So if the ghouls see us at all, it's game over essentially. So we're going to stay here. The ghouls can still see us here sometimes. I don't know why. They kind of saw me, but they didn't finish seeing me there, which was lucky.
Those flames might prove useful if we are overwhelmed.
So again, oh, that was really close to failure. We actually need to run on the outside of this rock, otherwise they guarantee to see us. Outside of this one, inside of this one, up here. We're going to get a ghoul spawning in our path here, but we've got the arrows to actually take care of them. And now we can just run to the end here.
Your heirloom must be here.
Okay. And now, because I'm running in low graphics mode, we may not in the actual ASM. We get to see the low poly version of this ghoul mother. So it's really the low poly mode. Thankfully, the machine gun bow here is absolutely fantastic for dealing with this ghoul mother. As you can see. Come on, in you come. Okay.
They will keep coming.
1, 2,
Till only our bones remain.
3, 4, 5. Boom. Nice and easy. So, we move on from here.
The storm is past.
The danger has not.
We're actually so fast to this point that the actual gates haven't even loaded. Now here, I've actually done a trick that I recently found, whereas if I Shadow Strike to that ghoul in particular, it actually breaks the spawn. There is meant to be a bunch of ghouls here that are just like ripping me apart. However, if you Shadow Strike there, they just don't spawn. Don't know why, but it's really interesting. Now we fast travel back to that Hadia that we unlocked, immediately making it very, very fast.
The three in secret: water, air, and fire.
And we go ahead and apparently crush a rat for no apparent reason, and then move on to the next set of missions. So these missions are actually really cool. These help us learn the domination skill. So the domination skill gives us the ability to actually command orcs and basically dominate their will. Domination in Shadow of Mordor is actually different to domination in Shadow of War. It's a weird one. Domination in Shadow of Mordor is more like a trick than an actual domination. Right, new strategy here. I came up with this. I actually came up with this while doing ASM practice, so this is fantastic if this works. So here, our goal is we're not allowed to be seen. But we have like a little bit of coyote time here where we can get to the goal and we're okay. That still counts as not being seen, even though we teleported to someone, punched them in the face, and run past a bunch of orcs. So that's a brand new strategy that I came up with just for ASM. Perfect. Alright, so now we have the ability to dominate orcs, so we mustn't be seen while doing this. This guy up here normally sees us, but if we duck into this bush for a few seconds, he's like, oh, I don't know where you are. And then he starts seeing us again, but by the time he finishes seeing us, we're able to teleport up to him, knock him out, and then bring him to our side. Is that guy going to stay there? That's fantastic. That guy is normally a pain to get, but he was there at the perfect spot.
We take them back, and we take their lives as well.
And be led to
One thing to note here is look at these guys' hands. They are not bound. I'm actually going to... Oh, I was not quick enough. Hey, guys. I'm over here. Why don't you come this way? This is totally not a trap. I promise. So here we either have to dominate the orcs or kill them. Killing them is just quicker. I'm just using that guy as a beating station. So let's take a look at these humans for a second. Their hands are not bound, they've just got their hands on their head. In the cutscene that loads, their hands are bound, and we free them. Right, now this one looks like a lot of orcs we've got to beat up. It is in fact no orcs we have to beat up. They all immediately flee. So fun for us.
To make them our followers.
It is a gift.
Alrighty.
We can use the
So,
weapon of the
we're
enemy
going to
against
head
him.
down here and we're going to finish the final of the domination missions. And this time we're going to dominate a captain and we're going to promote them to a war chief. Which is really, really cool. So we'll have our own war chief to fight other war chiefs.
Marwan said to bring her an army.
We shall not build an army. We shall command one.
We'll need to find an Uru captain to dominate and make our own.
Smack him around a bit.
We will make him serve our cause.
Jump off here. Did we get a good archer spawn? We did not. That's a shame. That's okay. Only takes a few extra seconds to give that guy a punch in the head.
More to kill before we isolate the captain.
Okay, so now we've isolated Grublik.
Careful you don't
This is
fall.
Grublik.
It's no fun if you're already dead before I get a hold of you.
I don't want to do that. Already got the execute up, so we may as well use it. Ground attack, roll over him. Knock him down, ground attack, roll over him.
Shoot me,
So now he's at the point where we can dominate him. And we're going to say, hey, you need to go and infiltrate your captain. But he's not qualified.
It is done. He's ours.
We must now make this captain a bodyguard, if he is ever to be a war chief.
So to make him a bodyguard, he needs to have a certain amount of followers behind him. So what we're going to do is we're going to help Grublik on his recruitment journey. We're going to be his HR rep, basically. Grublik is going to approach a bunch of orcs. Some of them are going to side with him. Some of them are going to try to kill him to take his place. We're just going to essentially negotiate with the orcs.
I must help Grublik eliminate all.
And by negotiate, you can obviously tell I mean an arrow to the head. Oh, that guy moved at the last second. Okay, so we're going to move on from here. Grublik actually should. No. Those guys normally don't attack me, which is really weird.
Just help our puppets before they cut his strings.
Something has gone wrong here. Majorly wrong. I don't actually know what's happening here, but something has gone hugely wrong with this mission. Normally Grublik should be done already. Instead I'm surrounded by a bunch of his followers. So I don't know what happened here, but we're just going to have to kill them all.
Protege wields fear
Okay, Grublik's moving again. That's fantastic.
His invisible ally.
Now, what you can probably see is that I'm actually killing all these people that Grublik's meant to recruit. Because it doesn't actually matter if he ends up recruiting them or not. All that matters is that he reaches each checkpoint. So, I don't know which orcs are going to actually side with Grublik and which ones are going to try to kill him. So, it's just easier if I murder them all. That's just the easiest way to do it. So Grublik's over there talking to a bunch of dead corpses, telling them to stand by his side. We don't really care, we're going to move on.
Through my will, he steers these wolves of Mordor.
And again, it doesn't matter if they're on our side or they're dead, they just need to be one or the other. So we're just going to take that guy, grab the arrows, and now we have to wait for Grublik here. This is us negotiating, yeah. Negotiate with the bat. Hey Veg, by the way, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you again. And here, now, what we're actually going to do is we're going to interrupt Grublik's speeches.
Kill for me.
Because they're boring and we don't feel like hearing them. So, Grublik will get interrupted. He'll move to his next line of dialogue quicker.
I conquered the wind.
Yep. Cool. And you can see Grublik's army of orcs that come out of nowhere, even though we killed them all. And now we're just going to bully this orc because we can.
Now that we have our hunter,
We're just gonna play go bowling with orcs basically. There's not much we can do here, we've just gotta wait for the game to load. Cool. Now Grublik is now a bodyguard to this war chief. And now we're going to basically kill the war chief and replace him with Grublik.
Chosen our captain.
and he has chosen death. A great advantage will ready us for this battle.
Good spawn or bad spawn? Bad spawn. So we need to get to this location without being seen. Again, we can sort of just not care about archers. They have a clue where we are, but then they're never 100% sure after we teleport away from them. And again, I would like to state that this is a me special, this next strategy coming up. I find it really, really consistent and fast, but I think I'm the only runner who actually does this. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a set of very fast things, and I'll try to explain as I'm going along. Essentially, first thing first, I'm going to blow up this barrel. Then I'm going to blow up this. Then I'm going to activate Grublik. Activating Grublik immediately after I blow up that campfire puts him out and makes him start attacking Tars. So Tars is getting damaged here. Grublik does actually some significant damage. Oh, his follower has Fear of Burning. That's fantastic. Normally we do that so his follower is still burning on the ground while we're fighting Tars, and we don't have to worry about his follower attacking and possibly killing us or Grublik. In this case, he ran away. That's fantastic, so we can just fight this guy straight up. Again, we're going to knock him to the ground, roll away from him because he's got Bolt Breaker, and then we're going to execute him. And again, he's now dead. Tars is finished. That's so nice and smooth. Finish Tars off. We're not done with this mission just yet. We've got actually one really weird skip, and this is literally the only instance in the game where this works. And we don't know why it works. But essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to interrupt Grublik like before, that's normal. We're just going to climb up here. We're going to drain him. That'll stop him from talking. Now, there's meant to be a long speech here, but instead we're going to grab this orc and we're going to interrogate him. And for some reason, that triggers the end cutscene. We don't know why, but hey, that mission's done. So, now we're in sort of... We're not in the free flow just yet, but we're getting very close to the free flow of this area zone. And the big RNG section again.
Does not an army make?
Yes.
So,
We must
here,
dominate more war chiefs for a true army.
and again, just sort of moving our way across the map as fast as possible.
Someone's sneaking about.
Excuse me guys, sorry, just coming through. And from here, unfortunately, we've just kind of got to hoof it. We're going to be going up to the Hadir up there, take the next one. Now if I just pinch the corner of this, we can get a speed boost, but it's kind of awkward. Got it there, cool. Only saves like half a second, but it's fun to do. Alright, so we take this Hadir. This is probably the second most important Hadir in this zone. And now we're moving on to the mission I like to call Robert Smith. For anyone who's not ancient like me and wondering what the hell I'm talking about, this mission is called The Cure, which is a band that Robert Smith is a part of. There we go. So that's Lothariel. She's actually a really cool character. We're only going to see her one more time in this mission. Unfortunately, we don't spend much time with her, but she is by far the best female in this version of the game. So we've got to get through 3 zones without basically alerting the orcs that we are here, without triggering the alarm. The game is like, oh hey, you meant to go through here and do all these special things, and oh, you are not meant to be doing that, my friend. Oh, well, I buggered up this zone, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Whoa, just drain this guy. And that should clear this section. Normally there is a really cool strat I get to show off there, but my pathing was off, so I didn't get to do it.
I can see why men follow her conviction.
Here for the 3rd zone, we're either going to get a fire pit or a bee's nest, and if we're really unlucky like today, we're going to get neither. That's really unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. In fact, I may fail this. Upgrades, please. I need this one straight away. Thank you. So that is combat drain. And that allows me to drain orcs for arrows in combat for my guard. Oh, Lugar. Lugar being very rude there and just one-shotting me. That's why it is very important that we normally do this in a correct order, but unfortunately we got very bad RNG.
Not much to look at, are you? Wonder what's underneath.
Lugar, that's rude. Oh, Lugar downed me for a 2nd time. That's really, really bad. So I have no more lives left. If Lugar downs me again, that's game over, but this should be it. He's down. That was really, really slow. So that went really, really badly. But hey, that's part of playing this game. Is sometimes you just get bad RNG and there's nothing you can do about it.
Lothariel's strength shines through her leadership.
It's reflected.
Alright, let's talk about RNG some more, hey? Because that's my favourite subject. Okay, that is a fantastic spawn. That is actually really, really good. So, how this works now is I am going to be doing it's definitely developer intended, but I don't ever think they meant for us to abuse it like we do. The reason why I was looking for my War Chief spawn then is, well, I actually can't show you right now because I've got another mission to do, but I will show you soon, and I'll explain that all in a moment. I should probably think about that a bit more before talking about it. Alright, so for anyone wondering, hey Rakon, you look like you really enjoyed this game. Why isn't this your main speed game? I present to you the Torvin set of missions. Torvin is a fantastic character. His missions contain so much escort, all escort missions, and they contain so much exposition that I honestly, it drives me insane.
Hopefully for the better, but you never know.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run away from Torvin. He's annoying, slow, all good. He's going to tell me I'm running away from him. Game? He's going to tell me I'm running away from him, but I can just get to this edge here. If I do this right, these Caragors will spawn.
When a Caragor charges you, let the bastard charge you.
So, doing that skips a bunch of dialogue from Torvin. Even with these skips, Torvin is still slow as hell. We're meant to let the Caragor charge us, but instead I'm just going to stand up here and take him for granted. Now doing that does some really weird things to the game because it expects you to spend time fighting, and in that time Torvin is meant to take this Caragor. Instead, he's going to show us why he should be in the Olympics for the long jump here. Remember, he's a dwarf, not a human, so look at this leap. That is a standing leap. That is huge. Alright, so now I'm going to try to get into position here and just push him towards this muddy puddle. He needs to be on the edge of the muddy puddle as he's got a waypoint there that he needs to walk to. Now, more escort time. Thankfully, we can kind of speed this escort up. As soon as these orcs spawn, I can run away. So bye, Torvin. And we're going to be just in range to get into combat with these orcs, which will trigger the next part of the game. So, now, like all good dwarfs in a hunting party, Torvin wants to have a competition. Much like in the Lord of the Rings film, he wants to see who can kill more orcs. So he's going to start with this competition. While that's happening, I'm instead going to bugger off, not participate in the competition straight away, and grab this fast travel point that we'll need later for a Lothariel mission. Now, I'm going to head back to the competition, and the single most important thing in this entire thing is how healthy is my Caragor. If my Caragor stays healthy, I can go and do a lot of things. Now, you're probably wondering why do I have to keep my Caragor healthy? Well, you know, outside of the obvious we fail the mission if the Caragor dies, my Caragor is actually my arrow resource. So, to show you what that means, in a few seconds, I'm going to... Hey, I nailed that shot for once. Normally I don't nail that shot. See here, I'm actually draining my Caragor, but it doesn't kill it. It does cost health, however. Doing so gives me a full 6 arrows though. We are definitely not leading the ground dogs to Torvin. Torvin is incredibly slow at killing. So we're going to kill all of these orcs. Get that one. Speed Torvin up a bunch. And we're actually going to bite on this orc here. And that gives our Caragor just a tiny bit more health. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain the Caragor again, get some more arrows back. And this is also a healthy doggo is a happy doggo. Absolutely, Veg. A healthy doggo is a happy doggo.
Oh, running short on
Now,
lessons.
you also may be like, hey Rakon, you seem pretty good at this game. Why have you never held a world record? Well, I got very close once, but outside of that, the reason I haven't ever held a world record is because of the next section. So, for those who don't know, I have arthritis in my right hand. It makes my hand shake. Not very much visibly. However, when I'm pulling a bow and need to line up all these headshots in a row, I do really badly. As you can see there, my hand just shook at the last second while I was trying not to use all my slowdown time. And I missed the shot. And this is why we have to keep our Caragor healthy, because we need to stay far away from this fight here. Ideally, majority of this fight, we never actually get into combat with these orcs. It's 2 shots missed. You can count how many shots I miss here. Torvin should be in there fighting. For some reason, he's not. I think we need to move a little bit closer here. And that should hopefully... Okay, so now we're in combat with the orcs. That's fine again. We want Torvin in here fighting. And you can see, as we have the slowdown time, I'm okay. But as soon as I don't have slowdown, I'm actually missing a lot of these orc headshots. We just have enough juice in our Caragor left here. This is actually really important. I need to shoot that guy, which will teleport Torvin, because he's meant to point out that guy exists. Bad shot. Got him. Okay, cool. Actually got the setup for that fight. So doing that in that order means that we never have to see a bunch of lines with Torvin, and now we are done with Torvin 1. And I say Torvin 1 because we've got 3 Torvin missions to do, and they get longer and longer each one. So we're immediately going to head into Torvin 2 because it's actually conveniently right here. And Torvin 2 again has a bunch of slow, boring
What
missions.
backward lesson do you have planned this time, eh? Shooting Crabane to prepare us for the mighty Graug?
You want to hunt Graug? So you shall. But
not just any crab.
So again, we can't do much about this. Unfortunately, this is just where the game just slows down for
Strong enough to
Torben.
claim land as its own. And you and me.
So I can speed it up a little bit here by just running here and looking at this Grog. I've got no control again for a few seconds.
Today will be the first of many.
Now you're
And we're actually going to bring out our bow here, and we're going to do a little bit of a skip here. So we blow that up. The Grog is meant to go over and fight those orcs, kill them, and then start eating them as part of this whole setup in this area. Killing those orcs will immediately mean the Grog will not have to spend time fighting them and will immediately start eating them.
Step 1, when he's crunching on an uruk, sneak up behind the giant beast and bleed the
We can again speed off a little bit with Torben to speed him up.
There's one place crowds aren't covered.
And if we've done the timing right, we should just hit here. The mission should advance and the Grog should... It's meant to be in position, but it's not actually in position, so the game takes control away from us for a few seconds. And here we're actually just waiting for the Grog to get into position, so we're gonna wait a few seconds here. Okay, so now the Grog is chewing up on those orcs, so we bleed the Grog as we're told.
Jump on one before she jumps on you. Your speed will now match the
We stand right here, and the Grog can actually never hit us. Also, if we're in the exact right position, this Caragor will run directly past and we can mount it before it gets into combat with the Grog. That's a pretty precise... Ah, no, I wasn't in there. I wasn't in the right position. That's okay. The Grog picked up this Caragor and threw him against the wall. So hey, that's good. We'll take this Caragor instead. Now we have to bring the big old Grog over here. The Grog's going to be like, hey, what's going on? I should chase you. Yes, Veg, yes. This is terrible. I'm a terrible shot. Alright, so here, we shoot the guy up. Shoot him in the head, and then as we shoot him in the head, we're going to execute our Caragor. That's actually on purpose. So, the next step, a bunch of orcs are going to spawn. And if we don't execute that Caragor, it actually takes away aggro from us, and we want the orcs to swarm onto us as much as possible. So now we're going to learn how to ride a Grog. Pretty cool.
I have an idea.
And the commands here are almost always the same. So it's right click, left control. Right click, left control, right click, and then the last button is always RNG. We don't know what this one is going to be. Here we go, left click. Cool. Now we have control of the Grog. Now we've got to kill these random orcs that spawned out of nowhere. That are apparently all hunting this Grog. So, the only attack we don't want is that one, where we punch the ground. We're okay with foot stomps, we're okay with spins, but we don't want the punch ground attack, because that is the only, that has the smallest hitbox out of all of them, and it's bad. So there's the punch ground attack, we don't want that. I can kind of manipulate what attack he's doing based on the positioning of my camera, that's why I'm constantly flipping my camera around. But a little bit slow, but not too bad. Okay, that is Torben 2 down. Now we're going to take a break from Torben's missions to move on from here. Now, as I said before, this mission is in a great position. And you're probably wondering why this matters. Like, why would I go and talk to my bro here? He's definitely not going to be helpful at all. Well, there's a mechanic in this game where if you have two orcs that are the same rank, one you own and one you don't, you can actually get them to fight each other. And if you remember the War Chief missions from before, they were extremely slow. Like, we had to, you know, go to the vantage point, then wait for the orc to spawn. They can be really, really slow. However, we can just say, hey, Broodleaf, do you want to go here? And would you like to fight this guy? We also don't need intel on him because Grooblik knows who he is because he's a leader, like Grooblik. And Grooblik's like, you know what? I do want to fight that guy. Where is this mission? Ah, it's right here. That's fantastic. Grooblik's like, you know what? I do want to fight that orc.
Remember who's in charge, man,
And that's really nice of Grooblik, for obvious reasons. You know, if Grooblik wants to fight that orc for us, that's going to be great. So instead of doing a long, drawn-out mission, like first First, finding a worm, interrogating them for information, going for a long drawn out mission, and finally getting the war chief to spawn. We can just head to this riot and they'll spawn. Now, however, this is where we cross our fingers, because this is where RNG can literally kill the run. We can get an incredibly powerful war chief here that we just can't do anything about.
The deadest war chief here.
What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to grab an upgrade. I'm going to grab Brutalize. Not that useful normally. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, he has a Fear of Gravewalker. That's good. He's off. Nope. That's not who I wanted to attack. That's one of his minions. I need to focus down the war chief here.
So I can cut you slow and make you scream.
So here, I'm basically just focusing down the war chief. We're going to have words in a moment, I'm sure. Oh! And this is why I get worried about RNG. His followers are so incredibly powerful. He just basically one-shot me then. Because he has hatred of his master's suffering. So anytime I hit his master, he's going to go into an enrage mode. And in enrage mode, he does a lot more damage, takes a lot less damage, and generally just wants to absolutely destroy me. What I'm doing here is I'm sort of just getting a little bit of space, so hopefully that they'll spread back out. I was actually going to go for a herb, but it was in a bad position. So now I really just need to keep an eye out. Anytime I see a button pressed, I need to just down this guy straight away.
We'll meet again, Ranger.
Okay, that's another one of his followers retreating. But we've still got the bad follower who can one-shot me here. Ooh, okay, that's really, really bad. So I've used both my lives now. So I actually need to go get a heal. So I need to bugger off for a few seconds to get a heal. There's one over here. As you can see, I'm rolling here just because I'm generally afraid of losing this mission. Also, my war chief can actually die here as well, which absolutely sucks. I don't want to kill him here. I actually want to bring him onto my side. Cool. He's on my side. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to grab him. I said grab him. And I'm going to dominate him. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, hey, my new war chief, go fight this guy. And you'll be like, sure, boss, no problems at all. And that also gets him away from anyone who could possibly kill him. Don't you kill Grublik. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Grublik here. And I'm also going to say, hey Grublik, go and fight this guy over here, because I need to kill him as well. And now Grublik's nice and safe. I don't care if I die from here. I mean, it'd be annoying if I do, but I don't actually care if I do or not. Alright, that's a nice mission. We're going to fast travel there. And again, we have to capture all 5 war chiefs. So this is our main method of doing it. It is, however, slightly scary, as every time we do this, our own guys can die. The war chiefs can also escape, which means we have to do it again. The war chiefs can kill us, which means we have to do it again. There's a lot of RNG right now that comes into this mission. Now, that brutalized skill that I took wasn't actually the best skill to take. However, it is an incredibly good backup plan.
You and your pathetic mob don't stand a chance.
Now, the reason why it's a good backup plan is because even if these are super intense orcs, jump down, stallion. Even if these are super intense orcs, I can actually fear them with a brutalize. Enough brutalizers, and they get completely demoralized to the point where they don't want to fight anymore and will run away. We can actually even use the DLC rune to increase that. So that's like our backup plan. So here again, we only actually care about the war chief. We don't care about the other guy at all. Okay, cool. So he's down. That was as simple as that. That was really good RNG. So we're going to grab this final guy and be like, hey, do you want to go fight this guy over here? And he'll be like, sure, boss, no problems at all. Sounds good. Now, we're going to take a risk here. This is actually a legitimate risk. And we're going to leave Grublik on the battlefield. Mainly because I can't get to him cleanly. Now, he can die right now. While I'm not there, he can easily die. However, the moment I fast travel, he's safe. So we're out. Very sketchy. It does happen. Alright. Now we're going to go do the final Lothariel mission. This is a... It's kind of a boring mission to do, but at the same time, it's kind of a fun mission. Lothariel and her men have been captured, and we've got to go save her as she's being interrogated about our whereabouts. So, the routing for this is kind of fun, though. So, we're going to teleport up here. And we're actually going to brand this guy over here. We're then going to brand this orc that we teleported to. Camera angle is terrible, but hey, can't do anything about it. I'm then going to pull out our bow, Shadow Strike over here, and brand this guy again. This is always the same. These guys, thankfully, have the same spawn every single time. We're going to stealth this guy, brand him, then going to immediately turn around and brand this guy. Roll to the left here, get into stealth. This guy will see us, but we still have just enough time to brand him, and that's our 6 orcs. Which then puts us right where we need to be to trigger the next part of the mission here for Lothariel. And again, this is a me special, but it's very, very useful to do. We're going to immediately shoot this campfire, and then we're going to drain some orcs. Hopefully we get at least 2 here. 3 would be better, 2's okay. For the next part of the setup we need to do. Cool. So we have 3 orcs. Now, we have to carry Lothariel to the end of this area. And what's going to happen is 3 waves of orcs are going to spawn. And we're meant to drop Lothariel in between each wave and basically defend her. She's got a broken leg. She can't walk on her own, can't fight on her own. However, I'm going to try this strategy. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it works. See how the first wave spawned. We're actually not going to drop Lothariel. Instead, we're going to walk up this way. And we're going to be on a very, very specific path. No, didn't work. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work. And this guy got in our way. We can give it another go, actually, because the other orcs are completely now not interested in Lothariel. They're meant to be, but the path we took made sure they weren't. I don't think I'm going to get through here because I think my orc's just randomly going to get attacked and I'm going to be in the way. Oh, maybe. Yes, we got wave 2 to spawn while wave 1 is still alive. This is not normal. That is a huge time save because now we can basically fight a bunch of orcs and all at the same time and get everything done nice and quick. We're going to use our combat brand here. We're going to be pulling as many orcs as we can onto our side if they'll let us. Sometimes they let us, sometimes they don't.
Let's make haste. My leg is broken.
Somehow I stood Lothariel up then. She's not meant to be talking unless I'm actually interacting with her. Something happened. That was weird. I don't exactly know what happened there. Oh, apparently I dropped her again. Oh, come on, guys. I actually thought all of my orcs there would defend me, but apparently not.
You were hurt because of me. I am the handicap.
So now we don't have to deal with wave 2 spawning now, and now we just have to deal with wave 3. So that was, it kind of worked. It didn't work exactly how I wanted it to. It's not like perfect, but it was not bad. Fighting 2 waves at once is obviously a lot faster than fighting 1 wave. And we also get a lot more orcs on our side that spawn, because our orcs spawn when their orcs spawn as well. We get a bunch more orcs spawn each time. Here we're going to walk as far as we can and then drop Lothariel at the last second. Let her take a hit. And then drain this guy straight away. We want to try to target the orcs with 2 axes or the orcs with shields, as they are the harder ones for our minions to try to take down. But sometimes we just get free drains on all these orcs. As you can see here. One of these guys is not our orc. I can't see which one, so I'm just going to fire an arrow and hope for the best. Cool, got them all. Alright, so that's the end of Lotharel's mission. That went relatively well for me. Not as bad as some of these missions. However, we still have more war chiefs we have to take over, and like I said before, we still have the dreaded Torvin 3. Okay, any war chiefs here? There's a riot there, and there's a riot there. So we're going to fast travel back to here.
Ariel and her men will not survive Mordor. They must leave or perish.
I'm actually going to redo this fast travel. I'm only going to do it one more time after this if it doesn't work. I'm trying to get a Caragor in a cage. There it is. So sometimes this cage can spawn, and sometimes this cage can have a Caragor. Obviously, Caragor's super fast, way faster than us running. And we can immediately just take it later. Grab the Caragor, and we can head off to the next mission. We're actually not going to do the Torvin mission, we're going to do the riots first, because the riots take place... oh, hi. Oh, he's a special orc. Unfortunately, we don't care. I do like how they actually have lines based on what we're doing. So we're riding at the moment, so that's why he talked about our Caragor. If we were, for say, way up above him, like on a ledge, he would tell us to get down here and stop playing with him. Alright, so next riot, same thing again. As we go through each of the riots, the bad RNG may happen, but it gets less severe. So this guy has a chance to have bad RNG. There is an ability in this game that is extremely overpowered called Combat Master. It is, without a doubt, the strongest ability in this game. And if it happens on this kind of orc, we don't really have much strategy at all. We've kind of just got to very slowly beat him down, and there's not much else we can actually do about it. We'll find out in a second. No Combat Mastery. So Combat Mastery means he's immune to execute, he's immune to ground execute, he's immune to being drained. He's basically immune to everything we can do to him. It makes him a huge pain in the ass. Thankfully, we haven't encountered it today. But I'm sure actual marathon luck will kick in soon. Oh, that's a kill move. That's a kill move. I know these moves well enough to know that that was going to actually kill this orc, which we don't want to do. Obviously, we want to take him if possible. He's on our side now. We're going to be like, yep, cool. Oh, I hit the Windows key. Now, I'm probably going to take the risk here.
Fully grown, well nourished. Is that how they breed things in your part of the world? Ah, pathetic.
Okay, thanks, buddy. I'm actually extremely tiny for being a human. I'm very short. We're going to take a risk, and we're going to leave those guys there. It is risky because they stay on the battlefield until I dezone. So they're still on the battlefield. Now he's despawned. I've gone far enough away that he's actually finally despawned. But we can lose our war chiefs there. But I wanted to take the risk here to keep moving straight away. It was a valid risk in my mind. Alright, here is hopefully our final riot. If everything goes well, this is our final riot. It's going to be fantastic. But we've just got to pray and hope. Pray and hope, pray and hope, pray and hope. Alright, chances of him being a combat master is really low. Because of the type of orc he is. Oh, and he was vulnerable to stealth. That's huge. He actually took damage from stealth. That's very rare for a war chief to actually do it. He's also a drunk, which doesn't matter much in this mode. But in Shadow of War, drunks are literally the single best orc we want in the game. I had to talk about it, didn't I? Okay, so he's a combat master. There is not much I can do here outside of Wraith Flash. That's the only thing I can do to him that'll actually damage him. Thankfully, he's got a relatively low amount of HP, but he's now dead. Okay. Now, what that means is one of these two guys is going to get promoted. And if I can be quick enough, they won't despawn. Him. Got him. That is brilliant. Oh, get out of here. Don't care about the other guy who escaped. We are done with the war chiefs. As long as our war chief is still on the board right now, doesn't despawn. It's very, 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 very unlikely. Sorry, doesn't despawn. I meant does despawn. It's very, very unlikely that he will actually die here. Now, I'm not grabbing these Karagors because the mission's right here. And we know that for a fact. And now we have Torvin 3. I hope you guys are excited, as I am for Torvin 3, because this is the last mission before basically the end game. I hope you're excited out there, because we are on pretty good pace, actually. Not world record pace, but pretty good pace. And I also hope you're excited, because this is our chance to stretch. We have nothing to do for a minute and a half. The game will auto-walk us, and there is not much we can do. So I'm going to take a break, have a drink. At the event, this is definitely where we have a bunch of donations, because there's not much else for me to do, but right now, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to stretch. There is nothing we can do to speed this up. If we get anywhere away from Torvin, he just stops functioning.
Yes, this crowd is very, very big.
And what makes matters worse is we can actually lose time here. On an auto-scroller, essentially. This is essentially an auto-scroller. We can lose time here. That hill up there can sometimes have orcs spawned on it. And if it does, like it does now, Torvin may decide that they are a threat and he wants to kill them. I have no control over that. I'm just paying attention to Torvin.
Last time I saw the beast was when my old partner and I tracked
it into so Torvin has decided they're a threat.
How did you get out alive?
Luck. The ground knocked me senseless.
And that's the time loss that we can't do anything about. And now we're back to the auto-scroller again.
Facing that creature alone was a death sentence. I've been hunting this crowd for almost a decade. That's a lot of years of dedication to one beast.
Dedication? Or a sign
and you preach better than you hunt.
Oh, that's funny, Captain.
I'll make you laugh when the beast eats you alive.
The mighty ground will be my legacy. Dwarves will tell tales
why do they have to be Scottish? I mean, I'm Scottish. I don't speak like that. My father used to until he actually went to school. My father did have a really strong Scottish accent, but when he went to school in Australia, he was bullied so much that he actually taught himself to not speak Scottish, and so did his brother as well, not to speak with a Scottish accent. Because my grandparents both have a hugely strong accent. I have no problems, but apparently my wife used to actually have problems even understanding because there's such a strong Scottish accent. Anyway, fun fact about me you didn't know before this.
It's too strong. I must attack from afar.
Grog is being a pain today. Come on, Grog. Roar at me. Roar. I need you to roar, Grog. Thank you. Okay. So, did I grab the upgrade? I did. Good. Got it. Now here is where knives are utterly important. Just one boss fight. To move on, we need to kill all of these dudes. And as you can see, knives are just so much faster than anything else. No, put that ghoul down. We don't eat that. That's bad for you. Bad dog. Okay, as soon as we kill the last ghoul, he's going to roar. Then he's going to do a punch animation. One punch animation. Thank you. Now that should be far enough, hopefully. One roar at me. There we go. And we do actually have a method for skipping this, but unfortunately it requires a very rare drop in the game, and we can pretty much skip most of this fight. But unfortunately, it requires an extremely rare drop that we're just not going to get. There's the legendary grab. There he is. I just need to keep him in my line of sight. In case he decides to pick up any tools. So if he actually manages to... No, stop it. If he manages to actually eat a ghoul, as you can see here, stop it. He'll recover a bunch of HP, and we'll actually have to go through another cycle with him. Game, don't. Now here, I don't have enough arrows. I need to actually go get some arrows before I start the sequence again. Cool. So again, he's going to slam the ground, get all angry. Hopefully this is enough distance, although I feel like it may not be. Yes, it is. Cool. Let our bow shoot our legendary friend. He's going to hit the ground. And we're finally going to take down the legendary Grog. Okay, and now we have, for some reason, to top off all the fact that Torvald's missions are slow and boring, for some reason we have the longest load in the game. And I don't know why, it's just very long. And now... Excuse me, sorry. I feel like I have dog hair in my mouth. I do have dog hair in my mouth. My dog loves to shed hair. And now that we're waiting for this final mission, waiting. There we go. The war chiefs are ours. Lothariel is safe. We are done. We are now on to the end game. 2 more missions left, and this is done.
If he does, then he will
These
find
are
his
quite
home
long
is not as
missions.
he left it.
Excuse me? Always spawn. Now this first mission, we're actually going to get to see our nemesis. This is our greatest nemesis in the game. Normally you'd know this orc, he'd be very familiar, he'd probably killed you a bunch of times, or you've killed him and he's cheated death, or a bunch of things. But we have no idea who this guy is. I don't remember him at all. He was a random nobody. But we happened to interact with him once or twice during the mission.
He's coming! The death who walks with blue flame! Embrace your destiny, brothers! Bring him the gift of man! Snuff his flame with the blood of the Urukai!
Drown the air with Urukai!
Alright, so what we hope for here is we hope that we can actually shoot him with arrows. That's him down. Now, we should be able to brand him normally, but the game's just like, no, you are not allowed to brand this guy. The game's just like, you must kill your nemesis. You are not allowed to brand them. Don't know why, but hey, can't do it. Now we're going to go on to what is thematically one of the coolest boss fights. However, because we're speedrunners, we ruin the entire experience. This is meant to be like a creepy stealth run around mission with the tower, who's an absolute monster, and this is the guy who killed our wife at the very start of the game that we didn't see because I skipped the cutscene. And his mission involves a lot of stealth, and we need to actually brand him multiple times without him seeing us. However, because we're speedrunners and, you know, speedrunning and such, we're just going to completely negate most of this. Last spawn is a little bit RNG. That's not too bad. So that's the tower fight. Outside of a quick time event, that is the whole tower fight. That actually casually is very hard, but because I know exactly what I'm doing, everything runs quite quickly. Here's our dead wife. Just the tower messing with my mind. And here's our quick time event.
Never see your family again.
Hold E. And that's the tower fight down. So that went relatively well. That went pretty damn quickly, to be honest. And now we get to see the absolute brutality in this game. Now when you think about it, that sword went so far down, it went through the earth. So that gives you an idea about how the combination of Talion and Cerebrimbor, how strong they are. Anyway, this has been pretty good RNG run so far. Like, honestly, had I not made a mistake, had I not made a couple of mistakes, this could have been really close to PB. Alright. We are now on to the final mission of the game, but this is going to take a little bit of time still.
I can feel it.
Lothario.
Okay. But yeah, this has been really, really good RNG. This will be pretty... This will be pretty close to 2 hours flat, but it's been in pretty damn good RNG overall.
I come for you, Lord of Gifts.
Oh, I'm not meant to go up here. I'm meant to run straight and just weave in and out. Alright, so there is a really cool speed trick here for this one. There is actually a glitch we can perform. However, I have never got this in a run. I want to make that straight. I'm probably not going to get it here. It requires a ton of luck, really good RNG, and a bunch of skill. I don't have any of that, so... What we can actually do is we're not meant to be able to brand these orcs. They're meant to go down into a death pose, and then we're meant to just sort of kill them straight up. Oh, this guy's probably nice. However, we can get really, really lucky. And we can actually brand these orcs. That's really strange. But the actual HP we need to get them to brand them, and the HP they need to get to fall over into their death animation pose is so incredibly small. And if we brand this first orc, for some reason it brands the rest of them. Did I get it? No. So I didn't get it. I was really, really close. In fact, you saw that one punch and he fell over. So I needed to hit him one more time there. But unfortunately, that's just how this fight goes sometimes. Which I'm not upset about. This is normally how I fight this fight. I've never actually managed to brand him in a run. I've only ever managed to brand him. Oh, that was a bad shot. When I was actually practicing it. Okay, so the one we're actually really worried about is the one next to me. Oh, I knew that's a problem. This guy here with the shield. He is the actual one we are the most afraid of. The reason is he is the hardest to kill out of a lot of them. He has Bolt Breaker, which means we can't bolt over him. He also has a shield, which means we can't hit him directly on. He is just an utter pain to kill. So we're going to focus down everyone else and hope that our allies actually take care of him for the most part, which normally happens. Oh, we got one. So there we go. We branded one of them. We're not... And we broke the rest of them. I actually got it. I got it in a run. I got it in a run. Oh, I'm so happy about that. That's so awesome. Even though I'm not saving time here, I'm so ecstatic that I actually got that in a run. Oh, that's fantastic. That's so cool.
This will finish
So
as
if
it
you do that with the
started,
first Talon,
shadow
you can
of
immediately
flame
end the fight.
falling on the Black Gate. The
It is
hammer and the
really
tar are
weird to
dead.
do that and really
Sauron
hard,
is
and it
still
requires
weak.
this really weird
Without the
amount of
power of
HP
the
that
One
you need to
Ring
get
or the
into.
Ring
It's
Maker.
very, very odd. Alright, we're about done. We're almost at time. This is fantastically fast. This feels very fast. I think I'm actually way underestimated here, which is kind of concerning. Alright, so here's our first our quick time events against Sauron, second one, and our final one. And we're coming up on time. Get ready on time. As soon as this meter finishes, time. There we go. That's time.
Talion, my heart. We will be together soon. Forever.
And watching all the cutscenes makes me emotional here. But that is Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. That is everything done. I want to thank everyone for hanging around till the end. It was a fun little stream. I'm going to go chill. Hopefully see you back all here Sunday. More Shadow of Mordor, more prep for ASM 2022. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.